Well, good morning and welcome back to the YouTube channel of Old Bloke Crypto on March the 26th, 2024. Interesting 24 hours we've had on the markets, that's for sure. As you'll see on the splash screen here. Is ETH now ready for a breakout? Well, I believe it is, and I'll show you why. And the low time frame and high time frame triggers, entry and exit triggers to watch and to take advantage of. And before I get started, remember nothing on this video or this channel is financial advice, and please hit the like and subscribe buttons and the notification bell to be notified of future videos. And of course, where the market sentiment is at the moment, you've really seen me use this meme several times in the last few weeks when the shorts have been on the rack like they are now. And Macaulay Culkin said to the bad guys in Home Alone, "You guys give up, or are you thirsty for more?" And the shorts are thirsty for more, and they are about to get it. Lots more. They've lost billions in the last 24 hours, and they're up for billions more, and I'll show you why. We'll start with the low time frame, and as I was talking about on Twitter this morning, there is an exit trigger that printed this morning, clear exit trigger to close out your trading profit, and if you are a low time frame long holder, I trust that you did so. And here's the chart itself. This is the liquidation bubbles, the size 3 liquidation bubbles, to say that liquidations are happening, as you would have, I'm going to refer to in a minute. And as I will show you on the charts how on the liquidation heat maps, how that was happening. So it was getting very, very heated, so to speak. And so it said, take your profits, go away. And hopefully you take a notice, closed out, and then price has come back, which often happens after a liquidation event, after a squeeze. Another way to put it, a short squeeze. And so price is just having a breather around that 3,600 at the moment. So congratulations to any low time frame holders. That's not me at the moment. I'm high time frame only. Had my fun in the last run with the low time frame, but I may well be back depending on the situation. Anyway, let's continue on. And as I was warning the poor old shorters, this is the 1 week liquidations heat map on Binance. So I'd been warning about that, and look at that. Around that 3,600 where price came into overnight, and it just blew straight through and blew out billions and billions. It's just Binance, remember? Billions of dollars worth of shorts that should have closed their trades out in profit, but instead stood their ground and got run over by the steam train. And then it continued on, 36.64 it topped out at, and then reversed back. But classic market maker behavior, right above that at 36.68, you'll see here come the liquidations again. And billions more right up through the 37s into the close to the 38 here. Look at that. It's just turning off above the 38, but there's heaps and heaps. And what is more interesting is to show you how thirsty for more the shorts are. So much of this has come in during the last 12 hours of the last 24-hour component. And so, and many of these, many hundreds of millions have come in, so they're pretty confident. Now, you think, well, see this band down here, surely it could come down to the mid 35s, like 35.50, and I'll show you what the thinking is behind that. And yes, price could, of course, the market maker could come down there and take it. Anything can happen in crypto. But why, if he does, hopefully you've got enough margin to back yourself and not be stopped out there like these retail traders are going to get stopped out. And why, if it does come there, second worst case scenario is 35, around the 35.50. Worst case scenario is around the 3,500. And I'll show you why that is in just a moment. Well, this is the on the daily chart, and you can see here we've closed nicely above the mid-range, which is looky 35.50 odd, 35.45. So we're right there. So those cute longs, late longs, they're obviously late longs, have come in and set their stops at the mid-range and decided that price is not going to come down there. And it may not. It may just continue on to the upside. That's more likely, but they're asking for trouble setting stops so close to the price action. And so you need to have plenty of liquidity to cover that. And certainly down to the 3,500, I would be having plenty of margin to cover myself if price comes down there. But with current market sentiment, unlikely to get that far. But as I said, in crypto, anything can happen. Anyway, so this is the daily chart, looking good. We've poked our head above the mid-range, and we could test it, like I was saying, come back to test it, or we could just continue on towards the range high. But as I said, not expecting price to then roll over and this 35.45 to become a resistance level, this mid-range to become a resistance level again anytime soon. Now, interestingly, going to the 4 hour, because you're always looking for confluence when you're opening trades or closing trades, as the case may be, have a look here on the 4 hour, the light blue line, the 50 EMA. We've come through that, and so far it's acting as support. It hasn't been retested yet. It's 34.83, and I don't expect it to get tested around that 3,500 level. That's for sure. But if it does, again, strong support there. It's rising. So in the next 4 hours, certainly before the US session opens in 12 hours time, that's going to continue to rise, and it could be around the 3,500 by the time the American session opens. But the price does come back, strong support there now, and you can see here we're closing well above it, which is a good sign. Now, another thing I was talking about on Twitter this morning, and this is very important. This is low time frame. I'm going back to low time frame again. This is the hourly chart. Now, if you have a look here at this little crossover here, and you think, is that important? Well, actually it is. And this is an early indicator of market sentiment changing. Now, this is the light blue lines of 50 EMA. The yellow line is the 200 EMA. And when it crosses like that and confirms, like continues to the upside for several hours and doesn't come back and recross again, 80% of the time that indicates a shift in momentum. It's one of the earliest signals of the shift in momentum. It's not to trade it, but it's to keep in mind that momentum is shifting back to the upside. And I have found by back testing that this is a reliable indicator of momentum shifting 80% of the time minimum. And it's not just low time frame, it leads into the high time frames as well. So that's just something to really stick in your back pocket and keep in mind. And so in future, when price does come back down, watch these 50 and 200 EMAs for crossover as an early indicator of momentum shifting. Now, I'm just going to reference King Bitcoin for a minute, and you can see here on the daily, what a beautiful chart. Again, here's your EMAs, all spread to the upside and strong support at the 50, and price did not even come back and test the 50 on Bitcoin on the daily chart, and that was at 59,000, didn't even get to it. And so you can see here, expecting continuation. Now, this is, I won't draw the lines on the chart, but obviously the yearly high is the top of the range until further notice for Bitcoin, and we're wanting to get back to that level, which was around 73,750. So we've got a bit to go there, but you can see the trend for Bitcoin is to the upside, which of course a rising tide lifts all boats. Now, looking at the ETH BTC chart, you might be thinking, oh, gee, this looks ugly. Looks like it could come back to this support and roll it over as resistance. No, this is actually exciting. And you've heard me refer to this in the last few days because we're plumbing the depths of ETH BTC. And now with the momentum back to the upside, expecting at last any day now for this to really get going. Because remember, with altcoin season, and it's programmed in around Bitcoin, the halving, the bull phase, etc., that we're in. With that coming, Ethereum runs first, and just how it works. And so what we've seen now with the memes and alts going well, you ain't seen nothing yet. So just watch this chart, and you can see a little green candle here on the daily, nothing too exciting, but from a little sprout, a big forest grows, that's for sure. And so just keep an eye on that. But again, I'm not concerned about that, but to me, it's exciting because we plumbed the depths and now ready for the upside, which is long overdue for Ethereum. And that was against the BTC pair anyway, but I trade against the USDT pair, and you'll see here. So just get down to tin tacks for the high time framers like me at the moment. What am I going to do? Well, expecting us to tag these range highs once again in the next few days, hopefully before Easter, because with that 4-day break over Easter, it can be difficult to trade, and it'd be nice to have the Easter off and not even have to worry about it and just come back to it afterwards. But anyway, hopefully momentum will take us up to this 4,100 level. The yearly highs, I'll be closing out my trade, and then I'll be looking to see what the market does, how it reacts to the high, because at significant range points, the market always reacts. Price always reacts. And so often it'll come back down again before it to blow through. You don't often get it just blowing straight through. Could do. And that's great, but I'll take my profits, say thank you very much, then reevaluate. So that's what I'm doing. What you do is up to you, but hopefully you will close your trade in profit, and have a great Easter. But we've still got another 3 trading sessions before that happens. So in the meantime, stay safe with your trading, trade within your means, and I will talk to you tomorrow.